This port in Ghana may now be a bustling fishing village. But over 400 years ago, Cape Coast was the point where slaves were torn from their homeland for the final time.
They didn't know where they were going. They didn't know it was really goodbye. It happened to be goodbye because later on you realize you're on a body of waters you've never seen before, and then in a strange land. Actually, right here.
Now a museum, Cape Coast Castle was once full of people cramped together in slave dungeons waiting to be shipped away. Rabbi Cohen is an African-American who left the States to settle here in Ghana. He doesn't know for certain, but it's very likely his ancestors came through this door before being taken to America.
Just look at this corridor and how it leads out. No one would expect that this corridor would literally lead a whole people away from their shores, their home, what they would know as their reality, you know, their humanity, and then to a whole new world.
He's done this tour many times.
So be my guest.
He came here today to show me just how important it is to Africans who have lost their connection to their homeland. How did it feel walking through there?
Well, you know, a feeling that you can never get rid of. And I've done this a number of times, but it's never become familiar to me. Never normal. It's never an everyday thing.
Since its independence in 1957, Ghana's leaders have made policies in hopes to attract Africans abroad back to Ghana. More recently, President Nana Akufo-Addo spoke in Washington, D.C. and officially announced that 2019 would be the year of return, welcoming anyone of African heritage to come to Ghana and reconnect with their roots.
Together to make sure that never again will we allow a handful of people with superior technology to walk into Africa, seize our peoples, and sell them into slavery.
And the response was huge. 2019 saw just over 1 million tourists visit Ghana, an increase of nearly 20% on the previous year. Rabbi Cohen left the US over 30 years ago and played a part in the Year of Return events. He wanted to encourage others to make the same pilgrimage that he did.
I want to fulfill the vision and the dream of how we reconnect this African family. How do we come together to unify so that we can mobilize our collective energy and strength to master Africa's destiny together. And one man can make a difference.
For me, this story marks my own year of return. I was born in Ghana, but I haven't been back in over 10 years. A lot has changed since then. The success of the Year of Return brought 118,000 African-American visitors to the country, and officially 1,500 came here to stay.
People say to me, you know, man, you left the United States, the land of milk and honey, the land of opportunity.
Morris now lives in Ghana with his wife and son, but before that he served as a US Navy SEAL. However, he never felt that his country served him.
Men don't beat each other up. Nobody's gonna get shot tonight in Ghana, right?
But they might get shot in the US.
Oh, somebody's gonna get shot for sure. In all of the cities that I lived in the United States, tonight somebody will get shot.
It's a complex relationship with his former home. He's conscious that not every African American should leave the land they built.
There are those of us that need to stay there on that soil too, because my ancestors built that land. My ancestors' blood, bodies are buried and entrenched in that soil. Listen, we could unite this thing and be powerful. And then we could change the fortunes and lives of Black people all over the planet.
After Elmina, it was time to hit the road. On to Ghana's capital, Accra. Life in Accra has a different feel to the seaside resorts of Cape Coast and Elmina. The busy streets and bustling markets drawing people from all over the world.
Ashley, hello.
Aquaba.
Ashley moved here in 2018, before the year of return, and she's worked across Africa and in the US. What advice would you give to people who are considering making a life for themselves in Ghana from the US?
I would always recommend people visit and vacation and have an experience first. And I think asking folks that have been on the ground, different varieties, to introduce you to the dysfunctional aspects of our family here. If you're not interested in the culture, the customs, the history, the language, the lineage, and what has gone down on these lands, then you're just a neo-colonialist. And you really shouldn't come.
And Ashley raises a good point here. While the strong dollar isn't the sole reason African Americans are deciding to come here, it does unintentionally create a divide between those arriving in Ghana and the Ghanaians who are born here. What's being done to ensure that there is this equality between all Ghanaian brothers, both the diaspora and the locals?
Purchasing power is not limited to only the diasporians who may have that, power to get the land or whatever they are looking.
But they're more likely.
They're more likely. The few, they stand out in being more likely. But there are locals here who equally have that money and will get what they want as far as land is concerned. We need to manage it as a country. We need to manage it as people, so that it doesn't create that unnecessary friction.
At the end of this year, Ghana will face an election and the current president's term will be over. But there is hope that, despite the challenges, Ghana's future as a home for diasporans will continue.
The fact is, we are trying to position Ghana as the black Mecca. Ghana was the exit point for most of those who found themselves leaving Africa. So if they are coming, it's only fair that they come through the same gate of return.
There's no doubt the year of return has had a lasting legacy on both sides of the Atlantic. 5 years on, the campaign continues under the new banner of Beyond the Return. Back in Elmina, I get to see this in action. 150 visiting African Americans are being welcomed in a traditional naming ceremony.
You can tell something very special, something powerful is happening right now. The African-American diaspora have just arrived, greeted by the sounds of drums banging, singing, dancing. They're here to shed back the slave names given to their ancestors, names that they've held for generations, and they're here to reclaim their Ghanaian heritage.
Next week, the United States goes to the ballot box. It's set to be a dramatic election and will no doubt affect African Americans living there. But whatever happens, at least they know they have a home in Ghana.